How are you all? I'm glad to feel your tones. Now, who has that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us? I need you all to get your books to the dimensional shift. Hi, how are you?
I'm great today.
I'm glad to hear that. And what is your question?
You're gonna have to
Jahada, is that you? Okay. That you, Jahada?
I have a question.
Very good.
I was listening to the tape that you recommended, or the class that you recommended, and it was the piece about they call me Jehovah or something like that.
Yes.
But my question was, it stated that the Creator blew His breath, His Spirit into us and gave us life. That Spirit is still within us, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But the problem at the root of the difficulty, that is the difficulty at the root of the problem, is far too frequently people ignore that spirit, that inner spirit for the outer shell and the surrounding world. That's why you're strongly advised. That's why you're strongly advised by those sent to be in the world, but not of the world. And I repeatedly say to you, you're not that body. You're not that situation. You're only watching this happen from above.
So at what point does the spirit is the Ankh, Ba, and the Ka, correct?
No, the spirit is part of the Ankh, Ba, and Ka. That's the real Trinity. That's the real you inside. You're much more complex than that. You're not merely a spirit. You also have a soul and an etheric aspect. So the Ankh, the AKH, which represents the eternal part of you, is the etheric. And below that vibrating is the soul. That's the Ba. And below the soul vibrates the spirit, which is the shell of the soul. And that's the Ka. So the Ankh, Ba, and Ka is the real Trinity that makes up the inner being, or what you call God inside of the kingdom of heaven is within you. So your temple is not, like I said, a building down the street, but the place on the side of your head next to your ears, and your eyes are windows to the soul.
So those operate together as one.
That's the triune you, the real you. That's the real you. Like I said, you are enigma. Meaning, wherever you sit, and if you look at an empty chair, there's more people. If an empty chair in your room, if you can conceive of me putting your soul in that other chair, the empty chair, and your etheric aspect, your spirit, your mind, your thoughts, your memory, and your personality, your feelings, if I put all that over there in that other chair, what would be left on the phone here with me,
Nothing.
Just a shell. Right.
Yeah.
But it would have no repose, because the life is the life in man. But when you look over in that other chair and you see everything that consists of what composes the real substance of what you are, can you see what your gender is?
No.
Can you see your race? It's invisible, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay, so that clears up the mystery of everybody hearing that we're all created in the image and likeness of God. And then you're confused when you go to the mirror and you're female and see males in the world, or you black and see white people, or you old and see young people, or vice versa. Or, you know what I mean? And there's some people that you consider ugly, you don't want to think you in that image and likeness. So you're confused as to how we all in the image and likeness of God, and we got different images. It's because the God principle in you is nothing that is relevant or can pertain to this world. It's invisible. You can't touch it or see it. Just like I told you, when you go through faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things yet unseen. Through faith we understand that the world was formed by the word of God, so the things that are seen were not made by things which do appear. Meaning you can see the sun and the moon and the stars, you can point to them, that was created. But if I ask you to point to the Creator, you can't point to Him, because you can't see Him, like you can't see yourself in the chair. But the real question is which was realist in your mind, remember? Is it the creation or the creator of it?
The creator
and everybody that
of
was
it.
thinking, that's right. Every logical mind said the creator of it. So by that, what you confirmed or affirmed is that the unseen is realer than the seen. That points directly to the fact that what's in that chair, if you imagine me putting it over there, the real you that you can't see is realer than all the physical attributes of you that I can see. Because when I asked you what was left there on the phone, you said nothing. Which is something, but you mean nothing of consequence, right?
Correct.
It's like when a woman is in the throes of death. They take her vitals, put the mirror under her nose, and check her pulse. Doctor covers up her head. He turns to the family and says, she's gone. That doesn't mean over. Over just means above. You follow me?
Yes.
It's just that she's gone. It means she's left that body and gone someplace else to a higher vibration, just like water in the refrigerator is ice, like bones and teeth, and then liquid like blood and urine, perspiration, and then when you boil it on a high fire and you raise the vibrations, you see it tumbling, it converts into a spirit. You call it steam, ghost stational-like exoplasm. And then eventually, if you leave the fire on long enough, it gets so hot, that spirit will convert into ether. And you can't see water, ice, or steam. You follow?
Sure.
So when she's gone, it's no different than in the old days when you had to have surgery. They would put that mask over your face in the 50s, right? And give you ether.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing? The same Etherian, just like Ethiopian and Utopia is. Ethiopian is a Etherian in heaven, Ethiopia. But they would give you the ether, and it would raise up your vibrations so fast that the real you, the real Trinity, the Ankh, Ba, and Ka, would raise up out your body, so you in essence gone, like the woman that you said died.
Right.
And people report that when they're under the influence of ether, that they're floating up against the ceiling, and they can look back down on the bed and see the doctors and nurses working. They can see their body, they can hear everything that's being, and then when the ether starts wearing off, they slowly settle back down the etheric cord and drop back into that body, and they can feel pain again because they reconnected with the body. But when you're gone as an Etherian, they can cut your leg off with a butter knife and you can't feel it because you're no longer in there, which affirms to you all what the new heaven and new earth is. So when it's described as there'll be no more hunger, no more thirst, no more pain, no more death, for the former things will have passed away, what they're saying to you is that you'll be vibrating on a much higher frequency like an Etherian or a spirit, and you'll be disconnected from the body, and you won't be susceptible to those things that mortals are, like pain. You follow? But you'll be conscious, just like you're conscious. The woman is conscious while he's operating on her body, but she can't feel what's happening in the body because she's gone out of it. The same way you are when you have a OBE or astral flight at night. You'll notice that when many of you had toothaches or you had a headache or something in the past, when you went to sleep, you would complain, but you forgot to thank the Most High because when you went to sleep, you no longer felt pain. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Think about it. But when you woke up, it came back. What does that imply? It means that when you go to sleep, that you leave your body. You raise up in vibration and travel up the light cord of your spine, Jacob's ladder, through the seven heavens, the seven planes or chakras or seals. And then you raise up through your crown molar, going through the etheric cord, that tunnel. And when you disconnect when you leave out the temple, the place on the side of the NXT, then you're outside your body. Well, you disconnect from that pain. That's why you didn't feel pain while you were asleep. You understand? But as soon as you slide back down that tube and wake up in the morning, you be, oh, shit. You start looking around, you remember the room, you remember you got to get up and go to goddamn work, you remember the toothache, it all starts coming back. That's hell. That's the fall. The fall of man is not falling out the sky, but you slid back down your etheric, you drop down in vibration. They turned the heat off in heaven. It was warm. This doctrine, this truth is your warmth. And when it dropped down, you dropped down from an ethereal, and then you could feel pain, and people could see you and touch you and take a hammer and crack the ice. Don't you understand? It was a cold world. Now everybody wanted to get here because they thought man had more. Now everybody want to take their heels, Dorothy, and go back to Emerald City. They want to go back to the green light, back up to the fourth plane, Malekith, you understand, to the realm of angels. And I'm going to take you higher than that. Oh, Amun.
Power hot, Amun.
I love you. There's exercises like spiritual blue light healing where you can see your own auras and etc., right? Moving stars.
Sure.
A lot of people say, why we keep doing these things? Because I'm trying to exercise a specific spiritual muscle in you because it's become atrophied over time, okay? I love you. Next
love
question.
You, Margie.
I love you more.
I've got a question.
Very good.
If originally or spiritually we are genderless, why were genders created?
The genders are created by you, your oversoul, or God inside of you. Because you belong now, when you drop down to the physical plane, sister, you belong to the realm of solid, actual, and time-bound. Or you and me, here and there, and now and then. Now, in order for those conditions to exist, you have to have polarity, right? Like good and evil, day and night, hot and cold, male and female, etc. Or here and there, or now and then, up or down, do you understand? To create the illusion that this is a reality when it's really a three-dimensional hologramic light show. You follow? So that if you took a bar magnet and you hung it from a tree branch, in the middle of the branch, it would be neither negative or positive until you slid it one way or the other to create that aspect of negative or positive, left or right, male or female. In other words, when you start reading the scriptures, it tells you, and there was the first day, and from out of the darkness came the light. So blackness is supreme balance, Cheryl. But to create the illusion of time, you had to create the illusion of light, which you did as God, as I said before. An example of that is, if all of you would bear with me and close your eyes right now. Now you see it's dark, but I want you to remember the brightest summer day you ever experienced while your eyes are closed. You were driving along, then you turned the corner on that summer day and that sun was waiting on you. That bright light hit you right in your eye. And did it hurt? It was bright. You had to pull the visor down because you were afraid you were going to lose the line in the street and have an accident. Can you see that sunlight? Okay.
Yes.
You can. Okay. Well, I'm saying it's dark in your mind, pitch black, right? So that light that you're seeing, where did it come from and who created it just then?
Spiritual.
Yeah, but who created it?
Well,
who brought that light from out of the darkness came the light? Who just brought that light from out of the darkness?
God.
You did.
Yeah.
You were the one that said, let there be light. So when I say to you that you're God's star mover, it's not just lip profession, it's reality. You just have to climb up on your own intellect or spinal column and take the mask off the face of God and wonder of wonders. It's you. But the big one with the capital G that you speak of is us as a collective. But remember, there is no us without you. Spell it. But if you try to separate from that oneness, then you become isolated, a fallen, and you become detached. You know, just like I said, you look at your finger, and if you can imagine a high-powered electron microscope, you can focus all the way down to see cells in your finger. They would look like independent orbs, so you see space between them, just like planets and stars in the cosmos. In fact, the stars are 10 times closer together than the cells and atoms and molecules are in your finger. Your body is not a solid. You can see through it. That's what an X-ray is, don't you see? But now back to what I was saying. If you cut the tip of your finger off and put it on the coffee table in front of you, separate from your body, what would happen to it? Separate from your body, Adam.
It's separated, it would die.
That's right, it would. You follow me? So if we do the affirmation, I am in the love of all, and all love is in me. I am a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me. I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. I can be all that I wish in all, as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. Star mover. All does, I do. You follow me? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Everything is
Did that
possible.
help?
Yeah.
I love you. And that's not just lip profession. I really do love you. I love you all. Well, it's got a lot to do with me knowing that I'm you and you're me, too. Right? But I can see that. But the devil can't see it, so they think it's they're individuals and it's them against the world. And you know, you follow me? That's why in the Bible, in Scriptures, it says, do unto others as you would, they would do unto you. But in the devil's book, for example, in the Black House in San Francisco, the devil worshiper, Anton LaVey, the devil's Bible says, do unto others before they do unto you. You understand? A different philosophy, a different perspective. It's an isolationist. It's a Donald Trump thought, us against them. Not oneness. There's no divine love there. You see, if you realize you are your brother and your sister in reality, then you would be compelled to treat them like you would want them to treat you. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd actually love one another then, because you're loving yourself.
I know you would.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why people that reach a certain conscious level, like Martin Luther King, they'll have a speech like, I saw the mountain and this, that, and the other, and I won't get there with you. And so, but I'm not afraid of any man. And I know, so in other words, he was telling you all that them white people didn't like what he was saying, and so they were going to kill him. And he knew it, but it wouldn't stop him from talking on your behalf. So it was evidence for anybody thinking that he had compassion for people that he would never even meet as individuals. But he loved us all as a collective, don't you see? And he knew he was part of that collective as the big G-O-D. You see, I am the Messiah, the spiritual guide, and I'm kind of like, my mission is to get inside of your minds, and I start pushing out from every direction, trying to expand your consciousness, to get you to think deeper and more profoundly, till I can get you to break outside of that box of persons, places, and things that you've apparently become trapped in, which is really representative of your physical body. It's become a cage of unclean birds and foul spirits. You follow me? You see the angelic essence of the Most High, you refer to as God, circling, revolving around you all the time, and you see lights in your peripheral vision. Every now and then you see a light or orb, and you don't know what that is, but it's God orbiting around you, because his seat is inside the temple, inside of you. But when you have unclean thoughts and you treat people very terribly and you're very mean and consciously disconnected, you're not conscious at all. Kind of like a monkey that that you have outside and you put a mirror against a tree. And she'll run up to the mirror and look at it. And every time she raises her arm, the thing in the mirror raises its arm, so eventually she starts thinking it's imitating her, teasing her or something. So she gets combative and then run up to the mirror, teeth all out, then start running behind the mirror, sticking her hand, trying to see where this goddamn teasing joker is. But one morning you get up and go outside and she's sitting in front of the mirror and she's picking fleas off herself, and you think, oh, she got it. She figured she's reached conscious, a certain level of consciousness. Now she realized that that's her. Well, when you all reach a conscious level, when you realize you're your brother and sister, then you stop being combative. Don't you understand? Anybody hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, it's important that you hear me. I messaged some of you all that I am the angel Gabriel. Now, who wants to challenge that thought respectfully? Or what are your thoughts concerning that statement? I want to thank Katat and Ann in London for sending donations, and I also want them to be watching their mail because they have spiritual packages coming. And like I said, they're very, very powerful.
Ed,
Say it again.
Did you realize?
That I was Gabriel?
Yes, sir.
I've always known it, but let's put it like this. Do you believe you're God?
Yes, sir.
At what point did you realize that? Fully embrace it.
Whenever I see it in the Bible,
you first moved stars. Well, that was words, but I mean, when did you actually really believe it?
When we got the opportunity to move the stars around.
That's right. Then you began to it began to really sink in. Hey, I am God. I can move the whole creation. I'm God. You follow? So it's not about miraculous cries of I'm God, to the soul of the saint and amazement of the what it is you're really God, and you start doing things that gods do. That's when it really hits you. You follow me? And that would hold true with me, knowing I'm Gabriel. I've always known it figuratively, but recently it's become inescapably factual. You follow?
Yes, sir.
Right. I know I'm Gabriel because I'm in the room right here with two people, a brother and a sister, that have been out in the dark with me in front of this house. And I've been teaching when it's pitch black, and then I light up real bright. Can one of y'all explain and describe? Most of you heard this, but...
Yes, this is Anukis. I was sitting almost directly in front of him, and we were talking that evening, sitting out there, doing what we used to call Maghrib. And all of a sudden, I saw this really, really big, wide, bright light just illuminated all around the Messiah's face and head and upper body, because, like I say, we were sitting down. And I said, Amun, your whole body just lit up. So he said, yeah, well, Hotep wasn't out there when I saw that. But when he came out there, almost instantly afterward, I said, Hotep, look at Amun and tell me what you see. And he looked, he said, I see a bright light. He all lit up. I mean, it was amazing. So then, a couple minutes later, I happened to look up and the stars was coming out. And then I saw one of the stars light up real bright with a lightning type tail on it. And I said to Amun, I said, did you see that? And he said, yeah, that's me.
Right. Now, a lot of y'all, sometimes we move the stars together. See your phone. You see a bright light in the sky flash, or you see the trees and everything in the environment light up blue. Who bear witness to that? It'll take on a big, bright blue aura. The trees and buildings.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I have as well.
And I'll bear witness to that. I have seen it.
That's right. That's right. Because you see, Gabriel doesn't have any boundaries, like a physical being. That's not only why I can move stars or move the entire creation, because I am that archangel, right? Why I can make mind links with people all over the cosmos, not just in the world. That is the angel Gabriel. So you remember that when Jesus, in ancient times, he went to the area of this place called Jordan, and he met his older cousin there, John the Baptist, 6 months older than him. His mother was Elizabeth, and she too was overshadowed by the Holy Ghost of the angel Gabriel, that went into his mother Mary, lifted a robe, went into her, and said, "Hail Mary, full of grace." And she gave birth to that which was divine, even though Joseph and her were intimate too. The son Jesus was also the Son of Man, but he's the Son of God, in that he was fathered aside by the angel Gabriel in the form of a well-made man that stood by her with the angel Michael, right? And John the Baptist also, his cousin, was a very powerful teacher, and he was baptizing people by the thousands in the Jordan River, and the Roman centurions were very apprehensive and upset about that, so they stood all along the hillsides in ranks with their swords and shields. They were ordered to watch John, and anything that he did that they could even perceive as unlawful, to arrest him immediately, because they couldn't figure a reason to assault this man. He wasn't doing anything wrong. But when he got to his cousin Jesus and baptized him, he dipped him under the water. And when he tried to raise him up, it's because the craft hovered over John and Jesus. And this white light that you all see, and when it's inside of me, in my head, it looks like an aura around me, like I've shown you in photos, right? And I saw that same bright light in the corner the other night when I was sitting on the computer, real bright. Or sometimes when I go out in the parking lot to move stars, I see that bright light over my head, real bright light over my head. But that's the angel Gabriel. It took me a while to really understand. So when Gabriel descended out the bottom of that craft, the hole in the bottom of a sham, into Jesus, just like I saw the white lights dripping down in my ceiling around 2012 and 13, where I lay my head, that was like a liquid plasma lights dripping down. That was angelic host dripping down into my head. Well, the people that saw that, because they had nothing to equate, so they said it was a white dove that descended down into Jesus. Yeah, 3 nights ago. That bright light was right there in the corner, on my right. Anyway, that's the angel Gabriel that's always close to me. And that when that angelic host went into Jesus, raised his vibrations, and ushered him into the wilderness, where he had his initiation. Get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written that the Lord God, thy God only will I serve, and him alone shall you worship. This and that. Then he emerged vibrating so fast to the Sea of Galilee, where his disciples were on the boat, that he started walking on the water because he was no longer physical. He was vibrating so fast like the Ilamuta Jazza, the divine incarnate in flesh, that he could defy gravity and walk on water like steam instead of sink like ice or water. But the beauty of it is his favorite disciple, Simon Peter, got so excited he jumped up and down and said, Master, bid ye me to come out unto the waves. And he smiled while he was walking towards the ship and said, Okay, Simon Peter, I bid you to come out unto the waves. And without thinking, like the road runner, Simon jumped out the boat and started walking towards Jesus on the Sea of Galilee, defying gravity, like the Master, because all he needed was the word from the Master to come on, and he believed in him so strongly that he did it. Just like when he healed people, when they asked to be healed, the first thing he would ask is, do you believe that I can do this thing? And if they replied in the affirmative and said yes, then he would say, woman, by your own faith may you be made whole. You follow? So Simon Peter was walking towards Jesus, but that day the wind was high, the sea was exceptionally choppy and white waves, and so when he cast his glance to the side, he began to doubt. And then like the road runner, oh, yeah, he remembered, and he started sinking. But he was fortunate enough to be close enough to Jesus for him to reach his hand out and catch him and pull him up and say, oh, you have so little faith. But the point is that he was walking on the water and moving the stars with Jesus. You follow me? So when you go back to the scriptures, you can write this down, look it up now if you want. As far as Jesus, as for those of you who believe in him, or even unto his name, unto you give they powers as sons of God. And it goes on to say, as to those of you that believe in him, even unto his name, unto you give they eternal life. Never to be cut off, eternal life. You follow me? Which means that Jesus is going to teach you to raise your vibrations consciously up to a level that you turn yourself, like Malachi said, inside out. And I added, in your perspective of who and what you are, so that you think of yourself as a spiritual being having a physical experience, rather than a physical being that possesses a spirit as a vague peripheral aspect of themselves that's not really them. Like when you saying, I'm in here talking to myself, you consider the myself the real you in the mirror, and the I some vague, insignificant aspect of yourself that you don't really focus on that much. That's the problem. Because once you realize that you're make that I whole again, that you are the I am. Hey, Asa, hey, I am who I am. Ain't you? Right? The creative force of will. Then you become automatically immortal and can do things that gods do. Not because something was added to you, but you had been a fallen angel, an inosight. You had fallen asleep, in other words, under a spell of ignorance, and you forgot who and what you really are. And I'm just a reminder. I have no power to compel you. I'm simply a reminder, like Ahmed. I'm Ahmed as well. But his mission is over. Now it's time for Amun. That's why Malachi writes in letters and things like, Millersville is the seat of a modern-day Pharaoh. Well, Gabriel was a constant companion to Ahmed Muhammad, but he was never one with him. He met him in the cave at Mount Hira and told him, Ikra Bishmi Rabbi Aleika, read in the name of your Lord. But with Jesus, it's a different creation. Gabriel is inside of Jesus. That's why you see those pictures with him with that big white aura around his head, and that he performs miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. You see? So, this is a very complex simplicity, if you can follow me. But it is a reality, and I can prove it in a lot more ways All you have to do is ask the right questions to get the right answers. Next question.
I have one. Shouldn't we not technically be addressing him in that name due to
In the name of what?
we know
Jesus?
to be true? Yeah.
Addressing who? Okay, that's the English name, and you're right. There is no J in Hebrew. His name is Yahshua, Hamashiach. But my galactic name is Sananda. Okay? But I'm called many things, like my Father God, in different languages. Like Jesus in Spanish, Horus in Egypt, a lot of different names for the same entity. And really, Gabriel is Egyptian as well, because Geb is earth, Ra is the sun deity, and El is God. Gab, Ra, El, Gabriel. You understand?
Yeah.
Like Abraham. White people know this, and when you're a child, they teach you little bitty poems and things like Open Sesame, or a magic trick like Abracadabra. That's really, the dead body of Abraham. Isn't that cruel? A cadaver, abracadabra is over Abraham's dead body. Yeah, but they know in the back of your mind, somewhere at some level of your consciousness, you know. Just like when they paint Jesus as a white man. And then after they get that image firmly imprinted in your mind, then they teach you to say, when you see me, you see the Father. So you have an immediate reflex association with the white face and God. And deeper than that, psychologically, if the white man's image is God and you black, you must be the devil, the opposite of it. So they're doing all that to you. And one of the coolest hopes was to convince you that God is somewhere out there and not part of you. So you're praying to something unknown and unseen out there that you want to, come on. When the real creator is closer than your own jugular vein. He's in the temple. He's that inner vision, inner hearing, and that inner heart. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and God is in heaven. Right? Yeah. Well, you can call me Amun. I'm known by that. The Amun, faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. It's even in your Bible in 5 places. One is Revelation 3:14. Write it down. Revelations 3:14. And unto the church of Laodicea write, saying these things, the Amen, faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. In every language they know me, in every religion. In Islam, Ameen, they end every verse with Ameen. Kul Rabban Nas, Malikin Nas, Salahi Nas, Min Sa Real Waswasuka Nas, Aziza Wizaduri Nas, Mina Janati One Nas, Ameen. And every time you recite a verse in Christianity, Amen. Amen. The Amen. Holy tablets. And when you, Akbit, have finished with the duties of your mission, when you have successfully completed the duties of your mission, then you must work hard and prepare to return to your Rab, Amen. You follow? Like I say, I can show you in 1,000 ways. But I thought some of you suspected that already, unless you thought I was just a different kind of a nigger? Is that what it is? A nigger that was moving stars and healing people from life-threatening diseases thousands of miles away? and answering all your questions like right now today that Reverend Deacon Pork Chop and Pastor Fried Chicken could never even approach? Who did you think I was?
I know who
Like,
you are.
no.
I was just
I love
pertaining
you. I love
to
you.
the
I know.
name, you know, because to me that's important, you know, because we already
I love
know
you, and
that
I knew,
the English
and I
language
knew
is a
all the
bunch of
time that's what you
nonsense,
were.
so,
And sister,
yeah.
I knew that's what you were all the time too. I was just trying to bring you back into remembrance of who and what you are, because it was me that said that one day you would do greater things than I. I knew you could move stars, Amun, but you had forgotten. You understand? And I knew it was possible for you to forget because, damn it, I had forgotten. Yeah, me either. I couldn't even imagine that. I wouldn't even put no energy into trying. It would just go move stars. I would just start laughing before they could finish the statement. Nigga, you have lost touch with me. You out your goddamn mind. You got me. This nigga talking about he can move stars. Right, that would be the end of the conversation right there. That's right, because all can, you can. Right, all does. That's right. As long as you one with all. But if you try to separate and be an individual, you die, fingertips. Out there. Yeah. Is it real? Oh, it's very real. Very real. Now, people tickle me going to church all their life and keep on hollering every Sunday about how Jesus is coming back. But I'm back, and now they gobsmacked, like, what? And then you got all these devils out here professing to be something they not. They said, ain't Jesus over here? Believe them not. And Jesus over there, and all, they're not. Because they have to prove that. That's right. You do live with me. That's right. And the beauty of it is that I live with you, too. You hear me, Simon Peter? All right.
People have been brainwashed to think that Jesus is coming in some massive white chariot or something, and that's what they read and believe. So, first of all, they're not going to imagine that it's you.
And they're looking for a white man, too, remember, Cheryl?
That's it. So, and all this great coming, and I don't know what they expect, really, but no, they don't. They're never going to imagine at all that it could be you. No.
No. Because Jesus can't be black, number one. They're looking for a white man.
Exactly.
Right. Did something happen to the phone right then? Cheryl, I heard you real clear. Look. Hello?
Yeah,
Cheryl?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, very good. I can barely hear you, though. They did something to my phone. I want y'all to be aware of that because they're trying to separate me from you all because they don't want you to look at the mirror and start picking fleas. You understand? I mean, they don't want you conscious. And they have a concerted effort against that. And the Republicans especially are fighting against what they call woke. If you ever heard them getting upset about woke, it's because they don't want anybody to reach a conscious level of awareness to realize who they are in regards to yourselves. And they're very particular about you not knowing who they are or what's happening or what have you, because that would bring about the end for them is the beginning for you, which is happening, right?
Yes, it is. No matter what they do.
Well, let me put it, they're very upset about that, Cheryl.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, they're madder than, they're very angry. They're more upset and scared than you think. Now, I'm going to walk through you all again with the first Patarak that Malachi wrote is called Count One. Count them not. Sent down for you Nuwapians. Now, that's always in your spiritual packages, many different books. This is one of them, in the first ones. Lo, Nuwapians, hear the words of Patarak, the way. Seek Partners Dar, Amun-Rayay, and you will live long in the land. For you have turned and submitted to Palaim, the spell. Seek Partners Daru, who made the Sabbatat, Wu, Sahat, who on Tahat changed the shadow of darkness into the morning and made daytime as the rays of Ray shine forth, who sent forth the waters of the sea, river, oceans, strides, from above the earth, which did pour them out upon the surface of Taha, earth. The name of this master is Amun-Rayay. They say Pa'amun can be trusted and is real, who watches from the beginning of the Big Bang, birth of Wildcat, and the birth of creation of deities, both good and evil. Brother of Imhotep, Wu-Dizahutwi, to whom Ptah split the staff in two and passed on to each to protect Amun, Amun-Rayay, who is called Asa, Ray-Nay-Nak, rich in names, to whom all true Nuwapians call. And they were getting Wasas, dominion, and Hatat, controlled to him by Ray. And Ray stood over Amun, saying, raise the flail and crook to count those who are in Palmeriat, mirrors upon this Daru. And in each Sipat, known those who chant and keep prayer on Wakat, Tasu, Talu, Tasu. As for the fallen ones who depart and is without, leave them to their own ways. Do not count them among the 144,000, because they choose their own way, the way of the cursed Pa-Kahanu, the Canaanites, Karadu, Apaf Pa-Kamahu, the children of the Pleiadians, of Pleiades, Pa-Lainu, the cursed. To the Kakasu, these Negaru choose to live in their image and follow their religion and way of living on Taha earth. So they became cursed in both ways, in their genes as well as souls. Do they not remember who and what they are? He, Amun-Rayay, is wise in heart and mighty in strength. He, Amun-Rayay, who has hardened his children, Panagaru, the Negroids, who accept him against Pakakasu, Pakamahu, and they will prosper. Wake up, Katat. He, Amun-Rayay, removed the mountains, and none of them know when, and how he raised the snow ice from mountains to create walkways. He, Amun-Rayay, shook and shakes Taha, the earth, out of its place, and the pillar thereof, who raises the waters and hides the lands and cities of old. They all did tremble. Amun-Rayay commands the sun, and it rises. Many of you all have seen me do that on walks. Move the sun, raise it up. He aligns it with every 26,000 years with the galaxy. He, Amun-Rayay, blocked the years of above the Amun-Rayay spread it out the universe and made Arcturus, Draco, Andromeda, Pleiades, Aldebaran, and Sirius, the chamber of the south of Orion. The Amun-Rayay has done the greatest of things, yes, wonders without number. And we Nuwabians say to all this of Amun-Rayay, where were you when he laid the foundations of Ptah, when he declared things the way they were and become? He laid the measurements of the planet, 24,000 miles in circumference, and each mile to align with 24,000 years of equinox, as maker of time and times in 4 times 6,000. He who laid out the inner grid of energy beneath the earth in lines, ley lines to grid, and lines in the heavens above, whereby are the foundation held together as the very body and its gravity of all life and movements and creation, the triple darkness, and the gateways, the northeast doorway at the right, the time to exit, when the morning stars sang together as Tasu, 9, and all the Kararu, Apap, Panas, Daru, chant for joy. Or who other than Amun-Rayay shut up the sea with hidden blockers, who made salt water and unsalted water meet at the same point, yet cross each other's way? Or who other than Amun-Rayay made the planet a desert, and raised the waters, melted the ice? Who cast balls of fire to the earth to remove that which corrupted it? Who other than Amun-Rayay reopened the wombs for new birth of all things and beings? Who other than Amun-Rayay made the clouds the garments thereof, and thick darkness to cover the skies for a time? I, Atum-Rayay, lesson of Panun, beheld those times, the planet Earth, and it was without form after it had been formed. It was no sunlight to shine on it after it had much light and life upon it. I, Atum-Rayay, brother of Amun-Rayay, beheld the mountains, and they moved and trembled, and all the hills shifted about. I was there, which is here, when the word was spoken. And I say 76 trillion years is not the age, it's the distance, as 1 mile for every year from Ilion to this Milky Way or White Way, to this blue planet. 76 trillion light years away we came from to get here. A light year is the distance light can travel in 1 year, as it travels 186,272.7 miles per second, 1 mile per, and a year to us was 360. Then added 5 for the children of Esar, Hashitat, Neb, Hatat, Satak, and Harar. All about Omni, source of all, to an omniverse, the all, to multiverses 27 billion years ago. Multi-atoms birthed the cosmos 18 billion years ago. The Big Bang, from the black dot, black hole, the pupil of Amun-Rayay, to total darkness, when no light could live or exist. Then from multiverses to this universe, 9 billion years ago of gases. The black hole or mother womb gives off radiation and supernova, and the power and energy from 1 to 9, and gravity is 9 to the 9th power of 9. To make nebula multi-suns called stars, or from ethers. I beheld all this before your world was, and watched it fall and raise to 4 worlds. I beheld before there were mortals, then after the first mortals removed, a few were saved, and all the powers of the sky and animals moved on, and only those in the waters lived on. When the snake walked on legs, as now, as well as the whale who first lived on land. I beheld the best of places, well lit, became wilderness, and man sank under the waters. all the great cities thereof were gone beneath the waters. I saw the wars between the Dravidians, I did too, overseers, and the Caucasus overlords. The move of Laban and 59,999 of his race of lepers, albinos, from the above of the city of grafting and breeding on north to the underground city of Dawiz, Kaye in Turkey. 60,000 of them in all, who were saved by their overlords, Pakamahu, Pleiadians, and made them dwell underground for 600 years of sickness and disease. Once safe, they had multiplied and were moved northward to the Caucasus Mountains to live until they spread their evils over the earth. I beheld the wars upon the earth and in the skies above. There was war in heaven. All at the presence of Amun-Rayay and his fierce anger. Well, this is what Amun-Rayay said to me, brother of my same father. The whole land will become desolate, yet I will not end all living. The planet will mourn and cry. The skies above it covers because I, Amun-Rayay, will it to be. I have my own purpose. I will return it. And he said, they will call on too many besides me and will not be heard. They will cry and plead for help, and it will not come to them until they have returned to me. Have not the gates of suffering and death not been opened on Negaru, Negroids world over? Have they not seen the shadows of death lurking? Until they ask, where is the way? The Wunuwupu? You know these things because you were there. You have been the breath of the earth, so make this known, being you know it well. You have been reserved against the time of trouble, against the days of trouble. Ask those who claim to know how light is parted, which is seen east and west from those of earth, and who has divided the waters' course for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder, maker of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, to cause it to rain on earth where no person lives or dwells, to provide to the desert and desolate wastelands, who causes the bud of the render herbs to spring forth out of the womb of earth to go forth where no person dwells. So no, this planet was not created for you alone. So do not betray yourself, for all things grew in earth before you were made. All fish swam in the seas before you were fashioned. All fowls flew in the skies before you were created. And nations crawled in and out of the earth before you were bred. So don't think yourself so great that all this was done for you mortals. What fools mortals are. Many living are hidden from you. Much you have not seen under the deep waters, inside the deep caves, high up in the mountains, even inside your own body. So much that has been done without you. Can you bind the energies of the many star systems as Sahat, or Sabatat, or Mahat? Where were you when the first spark sparked? Where were you when the first sound sounded? And then he created a prayer in the back called the Prayer of Amun. Namuzu Shalom Amun-Rayay. Nuk Saduk Bi Amun-Rayay Wu Nabeb. Wu Mariat Hu. Wu Manzar Hu Li Panan Zaman Wu Wakwat. Dalil Hamadat Etir Li Amun-Rayay Najon. Shalom Papatat Wu Pa Taha. Anukinu Wapu. English translation, Prayer of Amun-Rayay. I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers and his papyri and his warner for this day and time, the master Yanun. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, overseer of the heaven and the earth. I am Nuwapian. Did we generate any questions for anybody here? Does anybody really know what time it is? All the way.
I have a question.
Okay, what is your question?
Who is the not? I may pronounce it wrong. Najaru.
Najaru are you all. That's Nawapic for Negroes. The Najaru are deities, black gods, from which status you have fallen, apparently.
Osman, I would like to ask you a question.
Yes.
I always get confused. Well,
wait a minute. Just a little bit louder and clearer. Let me make sure I hear you. I understand you, rather.
Well, now they have the three nationalities. You have Negroid, Caucasoid, and Mongoloid. Where does the Hindu fit in that?
The Hindu, they're from the Sirius star constellation, right?
Yes, but they never.
And they're let me explain. They are the original Asiatic black man. They originally heavily melanated, like us, but they had 6 ether fur on their head. They are the original Aryan race that came out with their symbol was the swastika, and it was compromised or stolen by the Nazis in Germany, and they called themselves the Aryan race, the noble race. But they're the original black devil, the Asiatic black man, okay?
Yeah, but I was trying to figure out this like they're not labeled. I mean, it's like they left out to me because you got.
Oh yeah, but because they are a hybrid race. They are obviously the black man that's mixed. It's just like you go to the continent of Australia. You see what they call the Aborigines there. You see they are melanated, black, just like the Negro. But then they have that 7 ether hair. You follow? That's where they come from, okay?
So they would be classified underneath Negro.
Well, no, they're a mixed breed, just like they're not either apple or cranberry. They're like a cran apple, a bat, not a bird or a rat.
Mm-hmm.
They came about as a hybrid, a mixture, a chimera. It's like you have 3 primary colors. You have yellow, red, and blue. But you can make other colors from the primary. Like if you mix yellow and blue, you get green. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they are. An offshoot.
Okay.
Okay? Next question. Okay, I love you. Next question. You're going to be all right. I'll be there tonight, okay, Lamone? Next question.
I'm fine with that, Aquan. I'm fine.
You figured it? Okay, good. I'm glad. All right.
I got a question.
Now, you had a question. Okay, go ahead.
Can you go...
Can you speak up a lot louder?
Can you go into detail about the rapture?
About the what?
About the so-called rapture in the Bible.
Yes. What would you like to... That's a broad subject. What would you like to know about it? You're involved in the rapture right now on this class with me.
Okay.
This is for the reawakening of the elite few, the 144,000, for which mission I was sent. So it was Malachi, right? This is the final phase of that mission. And only the people with a magnetic current will be attracted to me. Not those with an electric current, because they're cherubim. And they've been cut off. So they can't hear or feel me. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Only the real ones will hear me. And unfortunately, though many are called, very few will be actually chosen. Whoa, yeah, that's exactly what white people don't want. That's right. They want to break that monkey's mirror. Yes, Lord. That's what they want to do. They want to cut y'all off. Misery, you know, like a jealous man. If I can't have you, you know, that type of thing. That's right. They want to create, Donald Trump and they want to create a new world order. See, he's the Christ, all right. The Antichrist. Go ahead.
What do you think is going to happen this next election?
Trump is going to lose because their time is up. They kept asking me in here to stop, to do something to him, and I was trying to. I'm not really. It's just like on Star Trek. You go to other worlds, but you're not supposed to interfere with the, you know, all that. You know what I mean? But they kept pushing me. I'm not blaming it on them. So that's what happened with him in court. Poor thing. You know what I mean? I'm very protective of my people, like a message of it's like a shepherd over a flock of sheep. He stands there with the cane, with the staff. That's a Ma'arab. That's what prophets carry. That crook staff at Ma'arab represents the number 30, or lamb. And he fights off wolves or anything that try to. He's very protective of his sheep, his flock. And you hear ministers talking about their flock. That's the same analogy. I'm very protective of these people of Anunnaki and Hotep. And they can tell you in personal ways you would never imagine. I protected them. I beat the wolves off of them. That's what I do. And everybody that's with me, that's sincere. Those people that try to propagate the message, which is your purpose, and try to support the mission to make sure the lights stay on and I keep the phones on, and they give a damn and they care about their brother and sister. Those are the 144,000, and those are the ones I care about, even though I'll not ever stop reaching for the ones in darkness. I love them as well. But I know there's no true love in them, because they love the devil, and you can't serve two gods. Oh, you love the one and hate the other. So for those of you that are neither hot nor cold, I blew you out of my mouth. I love you. Take this with you. But you'll be the one that'll be most upset when you're sitting on your couch between family members that you adore and see it on the news. And today, it seems to be 144,000 gallons in white being taken up and looks like crabs. And then when you start crying, seriously crying, teardrops beans the end of your thumb splashing on your feet, with your back humping in convulsions, and people they see say, "What the hell you don't understand? Shut up! I was right there. I was there. I knew it was him. I knew it was time. I knew, you know, and I know. And you fucked up, you stupid nigger. You left behind, right? Because no man knows the hour. If it happened tonight, you fucked. You playing games. You playing with the wrong thing. What you gonna be when you grow up? A burning lump of cold ember? Or you want to test the Creator and see how for real He is? Donations to the mission. Hell, I got to go to bingo. I got this. I got things to do. I got it. That's the least important thing I'm not thinking about. I'm not putting shit in the mail. I'm not going to CashApp and doing nothing. I got all my worldly things to tend to. Okay. I hear you. This is a fleeting, this place is going, just like your body. Every time the clock ticks, you're getting further from birth and closer to the grave. And look at the older people get, the stupider they get. They keep investing all their time and energy in the world. I done told you 1,000 times, when you go to see Mortimer, I'm telling you, when he fill you with that stuff and throw you in that hole, everybody that you think love you and you're doing all this for, if they show up, they ain't gonna stay no longer than they have to use the bathroom or get hungry. If they think it get cold or rain, you're gonna hear footsteps walking away from you. I told you, even your dog will lay on that grave longer than a lot of them people you doing this for. And all they gonna be arguing about on the way home in the car is who gonna get what of your stuff you left behind. I'm telling you. How many times I got to tell you this? You know in your heart of hearts it's real because they don't give a goddamn about you for real, even right now. What fools these mortals be? The only one that's going to be with you in that grave when everybody walk off is the Creator. And I'm telling you, goddamn it, he better have a smile on his face. Because he said to you, see you not the stars and the moon, how they raise and set, rise and set? So should be coming life after death. In other words, you see the sun rise every morning to do what every evening? That's right. It's born, it raises up, and then it sets in the wet. It sets and goes down. Only to do what the next morning again?
Rise up again.
And they say it ain't going to be no judgment. When we return the bones to Carter, rotten bones, that would surely be a because of return and great loss. Well, they don't believe in the resurrection and the judgment. So they swear they can't be raised up out the cemetery when they turn the bones. Well, let me ask you, 100 years ago, he said certainly there came a time of a man when he was nothing worth mentioning, nothing that could be remembered. That was you 100 years ago. They wasn't talking about you. You couldn't be remembered because you didn't exist. He says that I brought you forth from a tiny sperm mixed with ovum, gushing through the water over the taraib, the spine, over the feces, over the shit, nigga. I brought you into the world from that tiny thing you couldn't even see with a microscope. And you have grown up to become to me an open disputant, an open contender. Have you lost your goddamn mind? You wake up. Too late, but you will wake up. My ass. You will wake up. You talking about the beginning of sorrows. You playing with the right thing now. And you know you playing with the wrong thing. So you better try to get your priorities straight. And worry about your long home. Take that journey within and hold on to the rope. Not all these false wannabes. You know who the real Messiah is. You know. Well, the way they talk, it sounds my ass. I told you, you judge a God when he starts doing things that gods do. The devil is a silver tongue. He's an orator, a speaker. Like a pimp talking to a young girl. You better watch out. On the way to grandmother's house. Yes, right. You better wake up, Olivia. I'm trying to wake you up. That's a sheep. That's a wolf in sheep's clothing you fooling with there. Trying to change your mind and change your ways, and you kind of halfway turned out now. Watch it. I'm the real shepherd. I love you, and I'm here to protect you and guide you. Verse 66. Let me see. All right, Lucas. Verse 66. Well, this is what Amun-Rayay said to me. In other words, Amun-Rayay or Malachi Z. York is my brother. my little brother, by the same Father, and knew Allah, the Most High, the Heavenly One. So, when I was creating the world and the stars and what have you and everything and people, and then I destroyed 4 worlds and raised it back up, I let him live as a recorder to bear witness to the truth that I was doing. That's why I told him, for this is what Amun-Rayay said to me, brother of my same Father. The whole land will become desolate, yet I will not end all living. The planet will mourn and cry, and the skies above it covers, because I, Amun-Rayay, will it to be. I have my own purpose. I will return it. And he said, they will call on too many besides me and will not be heard. They will cry and plead for help, and it will not come to them until they have returned to me. Have not the gates of suffering and death not been opened on the Negro Negroids world over? Have they not seen the shadows of death lurking until they ask, where is the way to Wunuwupu? You know these things because you were there. You have been in the breath of the earth. So make this known, being you know it well. You have been reserved against the time of trouble, against the days of trouble. Ask those who claim to know, because they wasn't there, how light is parted, which is seen east and west. I just showed you right then in your own mind that you, God, make turning the darkness into light. Those of earth, and who has divided the water course from the overflowing of waters, or a way of the lightning of thunder, make of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. You see, in other words, he said, Malachi, you go tell them, because you know, I preserved you, I saved you so you can record this. That's why the tablets keep on telling you, and all the CDs and classes, he keep on saying, I was sent here to prepare you all for the arrival of the real Messiah. But these niggas want to fall down like John on the Isle of Patmos and worship him. But really, it was Jesus that sent his angel, Michael, to his servant John on the Isle of Patmos to reveal to him things which must shortly come to pass. You understand? Right. I love you. Well, that's all right. You got to clear it up. That's why I'm here. Inquiring minds want to know. That's right. But who you going to ask? Reverend Rib, Deacon Pork Chop, or Pastor Fried Chicken? Or you going to look in the mirror and ask yourself? Or you just going to die not knowing? In the dark. That's why I'm here. Exactly. I'm the answer to all your questions. All your relevant questions. That's why I was sent here. I'm that lamp to light your way back to the Most High, on that Serato, on that straight path. People traveling through the world like a cherubim, like a snake, a serpent. And there's this one thread, this fine thread through the fire. And when you travel like a snake, you're getting burned on all sides. Because there's fire to your left, above you, beneath you, before you, and behind you. So you got to straighten up and fly right, or you gonna keep on getting burned over and over. I'm feeling pain. Shit, ooch, ouch, ooch, ooch. I know. Look, you traveling like a snake, nigga. Straighten up and fly right. Stop bullshitting and straighten up and fly right. You're gonna catch more fire until you walk wide-eyed into the fire. And to those of you that believe, and then turn again in disbelief, then increase in disbelief, and there is no saving of you. I know it. Niggas rationalizing, going around there, hypothetical, running to computers and looking up stuff and think, oh, I know, I got it. I know what's going on. I'm smart. I know what's going on. I don't need no goddamn I'm my own. He said I was my own God. I said you have the potential. That God principle is in you. That's the core of you, the substance of you. But it don't make no. You knew you was God when you was talking to yourself, or you thought you was the 7 phases of Eve and had lost your mind talking and. Ooh. So you didn't think you was a duet. Who did you think was looking when your eyes were closed at night in the dark? Come on. But you want to play with me? You want to romp with me? Come on now.
I've got a question. Hello?
Yes, what is the question? I'm sorry.
How many books were hidden from the Bible?
11. It's called Apocrypha. And they left 66 books in there. Isn't that something? The devil's number, 66. But there's 11 books. And they took them out for reasons, specific reasons, like it tell you all about the fallen angels and all that, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I have the Apocrypha if you want it.
What is that one?
Or I can read it to you. You got one?
No, I don't. No.
Would you want to read it?
Yeah. What is it about? Which one does that cover?
It covers all the 11 books that are what they call hidden, that they took out of the scriptures that you see, that you call the Bible. And they corrupted the ones that were left, yeah. Apocrypha means to hide. Huh?
Right. That's definitely something to hear. Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely something to hear.
I can read some of it to you in sections. I have read some of it to you all before about the fallen angels and all that. When you start reading it, the hair is going to stand up on the back. You're going to say, oh, I know why they hiding this. God damn it, I see that now. Woke. Right.
Well, all needs to be revealed.
I love you. Say it again.
I said all needs to be revealed. Now is the time.
Yeah, I understand. That's what revelation means. Revelatio means to reveal. That's the only book that was authored by Jesus. There's only 2 books in the Bible that you can trust. St. John the Divine and the book of Revelation. The rest of it is hadith, okay? Sayings. They can be very misleading. Like in Islam, you have Sahih Bukhari and them, and they'll describe you in hadith that the Prophet Mustafa Muhammad Amin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would lead the congregation in Jumu'ah on Friday. And from the vantage point of the congregation, the whites of his armpits were clearly visible, which led you to believe that he was a white man. But they failed to tell you that he was wearing a white talabiyah, you see. All tricks and, you know, when you see me, you see the Father. I hear you. I know you do. After you to put a white picture in my mind. A leper. Cut that out. God can't be a man, let alone a leper is one. And he's omnipresent. He's everywhere, but he's in a little white man. Get your ass away from me. Astaghfirullah. I mean the shaitan rajim. I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the cursed. Yeah.
Question, Amun.
Yes.
What you were just talking about, are those the lost books of the Bible?
Yes.
Okay.
Apocryphal. Apocryphal.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I have another question too.
I did my best. It's time to move the stars, though. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, just real quick. how do we become able to, if we chose to stay in our Ethereum state, how would we go about that?
Well, you see, that's a choice you'll have. You follow. Heaven is many things to many people, too. One of my sisters, 86 years old, she thought being a little baby girl would be heaven to her, so that's what she got. That was her heaven. So there'll be those of you that'll go to other worlds, and you'll still be physical, just vibrating on a much less dense frequency. So you can fly and defy gravity. Like Jesus was in a physical body, they could touch him, but he could still walk on water. Do you understand? But there'll be some of you want to ascend back up and become Etherians again and not possess a physical form. But others of you are going to want to still eat a Whopper if you want and still have sex with your man or woman or build the sun on your face. I mean, heaven is the passing thought. It's whatever you want it to be. You the one that said, Fed Lux, Sabbath and Noah, let there be light. Let there be heaven. You all are gods and you creating either heaven or hell right now. And don't point the finger at nobody else. All right, who's going to be the first one to move some stars out there? I'm in my room now in the dark with my eyes closed. It's time to go to work. What about you, Lamona? Okay. What are you going to do with it, sister? I see it.
This is Anuki. In the name of Amun, raise up. It's moving up. In the name of Amun, drop down. It's dropping down. Wobble a little bit.
Yeah, it wobbles.
In the name of Amun. Yeah, it is. In the name of Amun, move to the right. It went up.
Moving right.
To the right.
Yeah, drop down a little bit, you mean. All right.
And then in the name of Amun, move back to the left.
Okay, that's the last move now. Give somebody else a chance now. I love you.
I love you. It's moving left.
All right. Next person. I love you.
I see a star.
Very good. Go ahead. Moon. What you going to do in Texas? I see it.
I'm going to move the star. In the name of Amun-Rayay, run in a clockwise circle.
And it's going clockwise.
Move clockwise.
There it goes. Now stop.
Now we're going to send it up. Yeah, okay.
Come closer. And it's getting bigger. It's coming closer.
Coming closer.
It's coming closer. Now
there it is, coming
Power
closer.
Hot family, Power Hot Messiah.
I love you.
I love you.
Hotel.
Okay.
I'm going to move a star.
Yeah. I see it.
In the name of Amun, raise up. And it's raising up. Stop. In the name of Amun, drop down.
Dropping down.
It's dropping down. Stop. In the name of Amun, go to the left. And it's going to the left.
Moving
Stop.
left.
In the name of Amun, move back to the right. And it's moving back to the right. In the name of Amun, going in a clockwise circle. And it's going clockwise. Towel hat, Messiah, in the class.
All right. All right, now,
Love you.
Sky, Amanda, what you got in Virginia?
Overcast. We had a storm tonight.
All right, what about you, Cheryl, in London? Are you there, Ann?
I can see one bright object in the blue sky that is coming into morning.
Very good. Is that you, Cheryl? That's you, Cheryl?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
what are you going to do with it? I see it.
Right. Yeah. So in the name of, I'm going to move to the left. It's sparkling. Moving left. Moving left. Now in the name of, I'm going to drop down. Okay, moving down. Yeah, this spark twinkling away. Now move to the right. And so it's twinkling, it's moving. Yeah. Sparkling. Move to the right. Okay, moving right. Thank you.
I love you. Christian, what you got, son, tonight? What you gonna do? Christian in Texas. All right, Amun. Now in Ohio, what are you gonna do?
It is cloudy out here, sir.
Okay. Well, look, I love you all. I want you to know that, but it's okay. And where are you located?
In Texas.
Okay, that's you, huh, Christian? Okay, what are you gonna do?
Yes, sir. In the name of Amun-Rayay, go to the right.
What do you see? A star? You gotta let everybody know so they can know what to look for.
Bright star.
Okay, I see it.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, go clockwise. See that? Yeah, of course it's moving. In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, go right. No, y'all still going right. Yeah, y'all still going right. You can't miss it. Look at that. In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, go counterclockwise. Yeah. In the name of the Messiah, Amun-Rayay, go up. In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, drop down. I know y'all see that. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, go clockwise. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, go right.
Go which way?
Right.
Go right?
Right. Moving right.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, go counterclockwise. Thank you, Amun-Rayay.
I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
I love you more. Let me say something. You all need to be supporting this mission because we really need it. And you need to write your testimonies and send them to me so they can be posted. Don't promise, because I don't promise you. I'm here for you, and you feel me. Let us feel you. Write your testimonies, send them in, and post up the posts all over the world to millions of people. Drop your nets and become fishers of men. Do your part. We are one.
Yes, sir.
The real Messiah, Amun-Rayay. I love you all. And I mean that, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace.